Welcome back to another episode of Harmonious at Lunch, the show that fuels your business success. I'm Brandon Gano, your host and guide through the world of harmonious business growth. Today, we're unlocking powerful strategies with industry experts to help your business thrive. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or executive, you are in the right place. Join me and our incredible guest today on the journey to clarity, growth, and success. It is time to revolutionize your approach to business. Let's dive in with another episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Welcome back into some more bite-sized business advice. And today's episode is, I don't think it's any bite-sized episode. This is a big deal. Have you ever failed to reach a goal? I thought I was semi-alone in this and I was just maybe kind of a loser. And for those of you who listen to the show regularly, maybe you also think that I'm a loser, but that's okay. We love you too. But I found out from our guest that 92% of people fail at reaching their goals. And I felt a little bit better. And collectively, we can hug ourselves in misery. But this is an awesome goal, a better way to reach your goals guaranteed. And I think you're going to like this one a lot. I have a very special guest, Terry Fossum, with me. Terry, welcome to the show. And thank you for being here.
Brandon, thanks so much for having me. I love dispelling myths. I love just letting people know why what they've been doing and trying for hasn't worked, and show them a way to make it happen. So I'm really happy to be here.
I love all of those things. And it's a method, it's a technique that I've never heard of. And I find that wildly fascinating to just dig in and peel back the curtain on exactly what this is. So it's called the Oxcart Technique, or the Oxcart Method. Why don't you explain what that is, where the name came from, and what this is all about?
Yeah, Oxcart Technique. Bottom line is, first of all, it's the subject of my #1 best-selling book on Wall Street Journal, #1 on Amazon, #1 on Barnes & Noble, best-selling book USA Today, subject to my #2 TED Talk in the world, which is all nifty. It really is. But more importantly, it's helping people reach goals they've never been able to reach before. And that includes teams, companies, organizations. Here's the deal. A lot of us feel like you just voiced, what am I doing wrong? I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and I keep failing and failing. And maybe it's just not for me. Or you get all excited and, I'm really going to do it this time. But over time, the passion fades and the excuses start to make sense. Like, yeah, I just didn't have time to get to that today. Or the self-doubts or the fears. Well, there's a reason for all of this. What we've been doing for goal setting is wrong. It's just, and again, bottom line is bottom line. 92% of the people who set a goal fail. There's a reason why. A couple of examples. The famed Harvard goal setting study that was written up in best-selling books, still talked about from stages around the world. All you got to do is write down your goals. That's what you got to do. 100% of the people who wrote down their goals in the study. You've heard of this one, right?
I've heard this one. Yeah, I've used it myself.
See, there you go. Absolutely. Here's the cool part about that. It never happened. Somebody made it up. I'm serious as can be. It's been completely debunked. Harvard has confirmed it never happened. So has Yale. It's been attributed. It never happened. So the thought that all I have to do is write down my goals and I'll reach them. Bull. I'm sorry, it's not true. Writing down your goals is important, but it ain't going to do it. Okay, next one. All I have to do is visualize it and the universe will go to work and make it happen for me. I'm sorry, not true, okay? There's a saying, the Lord helps those who help themselves. And so does the universe, okay? It's going to take effort. Positive visualization is still important, but it's not enough. Let's talk science. Are we doing good so far?
So far, so good. I've used one of the techniques that turns out to be a scam, and the other one I always laugh at. So we're on point here. Let's roll.
All right, good. Now let's give you something to work. First of all, let's talk about why just the positive visualization alone doesn't do it. Okay, prospect theory, which won the Nobel Prize when applied to economics. So this is actual science, not some of this pseudoscience that's being misapplied. Real science taught us that we will do more to avoid pain than to go toward pleasure. Again, we'll do more to avoid pain than to go toward pleasure. Here's the problem. We associate pain with getting out of our comfort zone, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Sure, it's painful. It's scary. People are going to make fun of me. They're going to tell me I'm an idiot. They're going to say, no, I'm not good enough anyway. All my self-doubts, all my fears, all my excuses start to make sense. It's fear. So no matter how much positive visualization we do, how much bunnies and unicorns, dream boards, and all this other stuff that I used to teach because I thought it worked, back before I was successful, it's not going to be enough to get us out of the pain of getting out of our comfort zone. The carrot isn't good enough. The stick is what'll do it, combined with the carrot. Now, here's what I mean by that. Okay. Positive visualization. We've all heard stories about the woman whose child was trapped under a car. Now, there's no way in the world. The facts are that woman cannot pick up that car, but the facts don't matter when there's enough emotion involved, because emotion, not fact, is the driver of all action. So because of what's going on, that woman actually picked up the car and got her child out, not because, hey, later on we'll go do lunch. No positive visualization. It's, if I don't do it, my child will die, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Let's give you another example. Recently in the news, dad's son was being attacked by a bear. I'm sorry, he ain't Grizzly Adams. He's not Daniel Boone. He's not going to wrestle that bear, right? Fact is that kid's going to die. Facts don't matter when enough emotion's involved. He killed the bear with a flipping piece of firewood. Why? Not because we're going to have marshmallows around the campfire later. No positive visualization. If he didn't, the child would die. Here's the point. What we need to do is incorporate, again, both the carrot and the stick. So positive visualization, absolutely, you betcha. But also, we need to use the stick. We need to go there emotionally. What happens if I don't achieve my goal? Now, this could be a financial goal. This could be a sales goal, a business goal. It could be a marital goal. 50% of the marriages fail, right? 74% of diets fail. So what happens if I don't achieve it? You know, Brandon, for instance, what's a goal of yours? What do you want to do with this podcast? What do you want? What business goal? Whatever. What's a goal of yours?
I'll tell you. I want to help more people grow their businesses, but I'll give you the two most common goals that our clients come to us with, because I think those are fascinating and our audience resonates with them. One is I want to, in some form, grow my business. So let's say I want to double my business in the next year, and the other one is I want to reduce the time spent in my business. So I want to cut the time in half that I'm spending working my business. Those are the two most common things I hear from clients. Those are big goals.
Okay. Fantastic. I appreciate that. Here's the funny part about this. Everybody listening knows what they need to do. Okay. How to do it. That's the easy part. We can get our information online through courses. We know what we're supposed to do. We just don't stick to it. Is that right, Brandon? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Every single time.
Every single time. Exactly. So what we've done, though, is we go, wow, when I get this business done, I'm going to make millions of dollars. I'm going to have a big house and a big car. Number one, those things aren't emotional. Number two, we have these self-doubts. At least I did. There's no way a kid like me is going to ever do that. But number three, that's not enough to get us out of our comfort zone day after day after day. So we decided we didn't have time to get to it today. Yeah, we did. We just spent that time doing something more comfortable. So what I teach people with the Oxcart Technique, with the book and my coaching programs and everything, teach them is, okay, let's go there. Emotion, not fact, is the driver of all action. What happens if you don't do it? Let's go there. If you don't build your business, and we're going to do it from two standpoints. I know some very successful people listen to your podcast. People are already successful. We'll talk about them in a second. For those that aren't wildly successful, you're not multimillionaires yet. What happens if you don't take the actions you're supposed to take every single day? What happens if you don't stick to your, not goals, but absolutes? I will absolutely do it come hell or high water. What happens? Well, my business will fail. Okay, not emotional enough. Let's go further. What does that mean? Well, I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. Okay, we're getting there. How does that feel? Emotion. How does that feel? I want you to go there. Write this down. Everybody listening, I want you to write this out in paragraph form. If you don't do the actions, let's be real here. This could be your future, right? If you don't do the things you're supposed to do, this could be your future. What happens? Go into the emotional part of it. How does it feel? What about the people you're going to disappoint? What about the people you're going to let down? I want you to write it down, full emotion, paragraph form. For me, when I was growing up in literally the poorest city in the entire United States of America, surrounded by gangs and drugs, wrong end of an assault rifle in junior high. In high school, my father was killed. Before he died, one of the neighbors came up and said, I just want to make sure you understand something. Not a single one of your boys will ever grow up to be anything. And Brandon, I tried and I tried and I tried. I did everything, all the goal setting stuff taught me, all the self-improvement, only to fail and fail and fail and finally reach that low point where I gave up. I walked into the bathroom, looked myself in the mirror and said, he's right. You're never going to grow up to be anything. And cried. And that was the turnaround, because I got mad. It was an Incredible Hulk moment, if you will. You know, the Incredible Hulk, when he's Dr. whatever his name is, he's this mild-mannered, nice guy. He gets ticked off enough, he's Incredible Hulk, and he can blast through anything. And that's what happened with me. I didn't care anymore. When I got back at it, somebody tells me no. I didn't care, because I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that guy be right. You're an idiot. I don't care. You don't know. No. I don't care, because that drove me. That pushed me. That made me more uncomfortable than getting out of my comfort zone. So the Oxcart Technique is 3 pages. The first one, hopefully you guys just got through, writing a little bit on. Very important point at the bottom of it, though. You want to go to my website, thegoalsecret.com, and read the rest of it, what needs to be on there. The next page you're going to read out loud twice a day is your action plan, the things you know you're supposed to do, but you don't stick to. And the final one is your carrot, your positive visualization, how great it's going to be because you stuck to your goals. Read that first page. It'll piss you off. At least it should if you did it right. It'll get you going. Not a stick to beat yourself down with, but a stick to light the fire inside of you. Now, no way I'm going to let that happen. I'll do whatever it takes. Boom. What does it take? The next piece of paper that you're going to read, your daily action plan, your bridge from failure to success. Okay, man, I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it. And then you read that third page, how amazing it is, because you did those steps. Problem solution format. Do it every morning to kick off your day. Do it every night to show, man, I did it, or I didn't, but tomorrow I better. And just watch what happens. What do you got, Brandon? What questions you got for me?
I love this so much, because you're right. I mean, just focusing on the positives, the bunnies and unicorns, like you said. I mean, it's great, but those things change too, and it's not concrete enough to really grasp onto and continue through the hard times. Business is going to be hard. Life is hard. Like you have to have something a little bit stronger than that. So I love that you brought that up. I'm also curious. We're focused on this deep, intense emotion on the stick side of things, like what we're trying to avoid. How deep do you go with the emotions of the positives of what that success is going to feel and taste like when you get there?
Thank you for asking. Equally, if not more so. Absolutely. What's the look in your spouse's eyes when you accomplish that? How does that feel when you look into his or her or their eyes and go, man, they're proud of me. We did it. If you are already a multimillionaire, okay, let's talk about other people you can help, because money will not be a driver for you. Okay, if I don't double my business, if I don't teach this to my employees, get them to do the same thing and double my business, triple, quadruple, 10x my business, what's going to happen to that cause that's important to me if I'm not able to give them a couple $1 million? What's going to happen to those kids or those animals or whatever it is? Visualize specifically one of those kids or animals or whatever it is. What's going to happen to that kid? Visualize it. Write it down. On the other side, what's going to happen to however many kids or animals or planet or whatever is important to you, because you took the effort, you did the Oxcart Technique, you did these things, and now you just saved some lives, man. The world changed because you took these daily actions. That's enough to get you out of bed and get you back up again.
Amen to that. And how do you tie this in with community? I mean, you talked about your spouse, your kids, your business, your employees. How much of an accountability piece is there? Because we're human, right? You said that to me yesterday and today, as we have internet issues we're battling through here. But we're human and things happen. And you do have those days where you go through and you don't do your daily actions. How do we lean on other people to hold us accountable to what those things should be?
I'm sure you've talked about accountability on this podcast before. It's critical with the right people. Your accountability group, which I think is absolutely critical, must be people that are driving as fast as you are. For a while there at 0600 every morning when I was in the Air Force, but trying to build a business on the side, I was on an accountability call but it's more like an excuse support group. We're all excuseaholic. Hi, my name's Terry, and I'm an excuseaholic, right? I would get on every single day, and I set my absolutes, again, not goals, absolutes. And all this is in the book, the Oxcart Technique Blueprint for Success. It's all in there. And by God, I don't care what time at night I realize I hadn't reached that yet. I'm going to do it because I don't set goals. I set absolutes because I've got the Oxcart Technique driving me. I'm not going to let my failure scenario happen. Oh, hell no. It ain't going to happen. My success scenario is. So 9 o'clock at night, I'd find one more person to talk to. Every morning, I'd get on that accountability call. From my standpoint, I'd have reached my absolutes every day. The other 3 people did not. I've been very blessed in a lot of ways. I'm not even sure where they are anymore. I'm sure they're still great people, but they didn't use the Oxcart Technique to reach their goals.
Man, that is such a powerful distinction. That one little line that you blaze through is make sure you're with people who are going the same speed as you. I can't even tell you how many groups I've been in where you could just tell people weren't there for the same reasons, and they definitely weren't going the same speed, and it pulls you down because you're trying to keep up with them. And that's probably one of the most powerful things you can say about the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah, morally, obviously financially, morally, health-wise, it's been said a million times. It's absolutely true. You will become the sum of your 6 closest friends. Yep. Guard your friend zone carefully.
Yeah, that's it's been around forever. That's actually a biblical principle found in the book of Proverbs. So this is not new. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. So Terry, this was absolutely amazing. I will say this very transparently with the audience listening. I don't take action on all of the guests that are on this show. We've had amazing authors and speakers and coaches and writers. And this is a book that I know for sure I will be reading. I admit I haven't got to it yet because I've been busy since we last spoke, but this is for
yesterday,
sure.
Everybody, in fairness, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. It was less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be diving in. I can thank you for sending that over and making that available and making it available to the audience and spending time with us here today. Where's the best place for people to go get the book, learn more about you, and actually put this into action in their lives and their business?
You bet. The book is available on Amazon, hardcover, softcover, and Audible. If you're interested in learning more about the technique or the potential of coaching, you can go to thegoalsecret.com, thegoalsecret.com, and also be standing by. I'm making this announcement here first ever, because I just signed contracts. We're going to be blowing the doors off a podcast of our own very, very soon here. So we'll be working together with you, Brandon, and making some amazing things happen for a lot of people. So tune in.
That is so cool. I love the announcement. I love you being here. And for those of you listening, all of the links, all of the ways to connect with Terry, to grab the book, they are down in the description below on whatever platform you're on. So definitely make sure you go follow along. You get yourself a copy. And Terry, thanks again for stopping by. This was great.
Brandon, thanks for everything you're doing to help a whole lot of people out there. I really appreciate you, man. Keep up the amazing work.
Amen, brother. Thank you. For those of you watching and listening, wherever you are, as I mentioned, everything's down below, but make sure you subscribe too. If you're loving this content, if this is helping you grow your business, if this is pushing you outside the comfort zone, like Terry talked about in your business and your life, that's a good thing. That means we're making progress. Make sure you subscribe. We want to have you back. We put out 5 episodes a week because we're crazy, but because we love you and we want to help you build a more harmonious business and life. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the next episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Thanks for being here.